All right, we are the day before closing arguments, or at least the results on the proffer to determine whether or not the cell data information is going to be allowed in the Fani Willis Nathan Wade motion to disqualify. The day before the hearing, and Ashley Merchant's exhibit consisting of text messages between her and Terrence Bradley, former partner of Nathan Wade, former family lawyer of Nathan Wade, and former friend of Nathan Wade, I guess he found out. Holy cows. The text messages exchanged between the two of them have been released, and they are juicy, to put it mildly. Now, just before we get into any of this, I'm going to call out CNN as being the pathological liars that they are. They either did not watch the trial, or they are liars, or a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B, because they put out the most egregious piece of disinformation spin you have ever seen. From a CNN article, the text messages raise question about Bradley's credibility and the degree to which Merchant appeared to rely on his claims that she was then unable to substantiate elsewhere. For those of you who have been living under a rock for the last 2 weeks, because this really has been headline news for the last 2 weeks, Ashley Merchant prepared a number of pleadings, proceedings, affidavits, etc. She prepared the motion to disqualify Fani Willis and Nathan Wade as a result of their improper relationship, alleged improper relationship. She relied on Terrence Bradley text messages, confirming some of the information, correcting some of the information she would put in that motion to disqualify. But she also relied on the testimony of another person named Yurdi, who loaned out her condo to Fani Willis so that, I don't know if she loaned it out to her so that she, being Fani Willis, and Nathan Wade could go over and knock boots over there, but they ended up doing that anyhow. Yurdi was one of the witnesses who testified as to when the relationship began, that being in 2019, before Fani Willis gave Nathan Wade the contract to prosecute Donald Trump, despite him having absolutely no experience in the field, which we already knew, but is also confirmed in the text messages between Bradley and Merchant. In a January 6, 2024 text from Ashley Merchant to Terrence Bradley, to your knowledge, has Nathan ever prosecuted a felony? I can't find a single one. To which Terrence Bradley replied, never in his life has he prosecuted a felony. So CNN, you either didn't watch the trial or you're liars, but I have to go with a little bit of both, because if you didn't watch the trial, you had no business making a factually false statement, which was contradicted by the trial itself. So if you didn't know, you had no business making a statement that asserted a fact that was false.
Do you know if Miss Willis and Mr. Wade started dating in October of 2019?
I don't know if it was October of 2019.
Was it roughly?
Could it possibly be November of 2019?
Could possibly.
Okay. And when we spoke, you said it was shortly after the municipal court conference, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you know that their relationship, their personal relationship, began shortly after this municipal court conference.
That's what you call networking,
Yes.
people.
And when I say personal, romantic. I just want to make sure we don't get in an argument over what personal and romantic is later. When I ask you personal,
Sexy
you
time.
take that to mean romantic.
I don't know if it was romantic, but they were
Yes.
knocking boots.
So you are, in fact, liars who may or may not have watched the trial, but my goodness, the text messages between Bradley and Merchant. Mwah! Gold!
That's gold, Jerry. Gold!
Now, again, for those of you who have been living under a rock for the last little while, there was substantial disagreement, many objections raised during the first 2 days of the hearing on the motion to disqualify, as relates to Terrence Bradley's alleged privilege with Nathan Wade, which would preclude him from answering questions, as relates to those text messages between him and Ashley Merchant, because he had no business texting her if what he was texting her was based on privileged information that he got from Nathan Wade in the context of their solicitor-client privilege relationship. So Terrence Bradley was saying, I can't answer any questions on those text messages that I sent you, Ashley Merchant, because that would violate the rules of privilege. There were substantial debates over this issue, and then on the last day of the hearing, Anna Cross decided to eviscerate Terrence Bradley in front of the entire world, make him look like a total liar who had lied about why he was released from Nathan Wade's partnership. Terrence Bradley also claimed privilege as to why he couldn't answer questions as to why he was booted from the Nathan Wade partnership, and then Anna Cross on Cross revealed that it related to alleged sexual assault allegations.
And while you didn't socialize together frequently, you considered yourself a friend of Mr. Wade at that time?
Yes, we were friends at that time, yes.
All right. You are no longer business partners.
That is correct.
You are no longer friends.
What you say? That you only meant well. Oh, well, 'cause you did.
And then Judge Scott McAfee's like, that's nothing to do with privilege. If you got that wrong, now I'm questioning everything that you raised privilege to refuse answering on. So the judge went in camera, reviewed the text messages between Terrence Bradley and Ashley Merchant, allowed further questioning of Terrence Bradley on the date the relationship started between Nathan Wade and Fani Willis. That was what we had on Tuesday, what day is it today? February 27th, if I get the dates right. And we are going into closing arguments tomorrow, depending on the proffer of the cell phone data, which shows that Nathan Wade was going over to Fani Willis's condo when she was at the Yurdi condo and doing God knows what between 12:35 in the evening and 4:55 in the morning on at least one occasion, if not two. So yeah, CNN, not only do you have Yurdi confirming what Bradley told Ashley Merchant in text messages, you now have cell phone data showing 23,000 text messages or interactions in the 11-month period leading up to Fani Willis giving this contract to Nathan Wade, who apparently had never prosecuted a RICO case and apparently not even a felony. 23,000 text messages over the course of 11 months, 2,000 phone calls, and at least a couple of apparent booty calls where Nathan Wade was going over in the evening to see Fani Willis at Yurdi's condo. Okay, now that we have had the third day of the evidentiary hearing, which consisted of additional questions to Terrence Bradley as relates to the date when Fani Willis and Nathan Wade entered into their romantic relationship, at least according to Terrence Bradley's knowledge, he got up there on the stand for a little over 2 hours and said, I don't recall, I was just speculating, I had no business telling Ashley Merchant what I told her in those text messages because I had no personal knowledge of it. A load of crap. He had been representing Nathan Wade since 2018. They were friends, they were partners, and he purports to have had one and one only conversation with Nathan Wade as to when he started knocking boots with Fani Willis. Terrence Bradley was confronted with his many text messages in which he provided information, confirmation to Ashley Merchant. At one point, some people are claiming they heard him say dang because the text messages were so damning. I personally believe he was actually just saying date because that was one of the words in the text thread that he was reading.
The first page starts off by saying, Miss Merchant, like just date, don't hire him. Do you think it started before she hired him? You see that?
We now get access to those text messages, and holy cows, they're beautiful, they are juicy. We have a PDF of it up at our vivabarneslaw.locals.com community, courtesy of Phil Holloway, journalist who's been doing great work on this, who gave it to me after it became public. Megyn Kelly was, if not the first, one of the first to report on it, and then CNN apparently borrowed her information, her initial breaking reports, whatever. I've got the PDF, it's in our community, and I'm going to highlight some of the juiciest of the juicies of the juicy texts in that juicy thread. Juicy. From September 18, 2023, from Ashley Merchant. Any idea who I could get an affidavit from on the affair? Terrence Bradley replies, no one would freely burn that bridge. It then goes on to say, okay, if Chris was asked under oath, would he know? No. Wow, I figured he would. I didn't expect him to be so careful. He knows, but he won't admit it, says Terrence Bradley. Just to add this here, I don't really understand what Terrence Bradley was doing here. Ashley Merchant playing the role almost of journalist, investigator, and lawyer, and you sort of need to wear all three of those hats to do a good job as an attorney. It seems like they had a friendship. Terrence Bradley, I think we can understand why, was burned by Fani Willis and or Nathan Wade, and was a little bit angry and was a little bit willing to offer some information, but how he didn't realize that this would not be like a journalist protecting their source. He would have to be disclosed as the source because Ashley Merchant would rely on this information for the public motion. I don't know what Terrence Bradley was thinking. He might have been acting on anger, frustration, whatever. But my goodness, everybody watching Terrence Bradley testify as to his not recalling why he said what he said, not recalling why he didn't say he didn't recall, anybody watching that and then saying they've got something on Terrence Bradley. Of course they do. Of course Terrence Bradley has been threatened, intimidated by Fani Willis and or Nathan Wade. I mean, he left the law firm allegedly because of a sexual assault incident with an employee that he then paid $20,000 from his escrow account. You think they didn't threaten Terrence Bradley with criminal prosecution for that assault? If he continued to help Ashley Merchant try to sink, disqualify, and ruin the careers of Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, of course they threatened him, in my humble opinion. It's only logical, and now we have all of the pieces of the puzzle to put together. But yeah, Terrence Bradley clearly screwed up here by burning bridges with the most corrupt people on earth, or at least people who are among the most corrupt people on earth. Those people being Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, and obviously not Ashley Merchant, who is doing a banger job in this. Holy crab apples. Ashley Merchant, And then further down, September 25th, 2023, from Ashley Merchant. Would you be interested in being a program director for one of the GACDL seminars? I'm president next year and wanted to get you more involved. I'm interested. Let's chat. Yay. Hey, I still want to chat about GACDL. You still interested? Yes. And for those of you who don't know, as I didn't know, the GACDL is the Georgia Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. I don't know if that offer from Ashley Merchant was sincere or a way of sort of gaining the confidence and the trust of the person from whom she was soliciting information. I suspect it was sincere, but my goodness, having watched the way Terrence Bradley couldn't recall anything on the stand, I don't think many people are going to have much faith in him as an attorney anymore. Then in January 2024, Ashley Merchant says, okay, I assume you knew about the trips. Wow, insane, I'm shocked. Well, not really, but somewhat. No, I didn't, says Terrence Bradley. When did it happen? Last trip was this summer, May or June. No, I didn't know, says Bradley. I was gone by then. Bradley didn't know about those trips because he was booted from the firm, I think, in 2022, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know about any trips that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade took together, because he does. Of course, he was just speculating, and he doesn't know why he didn't mention that he was speculating when he confirmed all this information to Ashley Merchant in the first place. Doesn't surprise me. They took many trips to Florida, he says, Texas, and Napa, California, yup. Then Terrence Bradley offers this bit of information. Her daughter flunked out of FAMU and moved to Cali. To which Ashley Merchant laughed at that text. Dang, they had a full-on relationship. Insane, just insane. He went to help move her, says Terrence Bradley. This is all on January 5th, 2024. Then Ashley Merchant says, like, just date. Don't hire him. Do you think it started before she hired him? To which Terrence Bradley infamously replied, absolutely. It started when she left the DA's office and was judge in South Fulton. But Terrence Bradley was just speculating when he said that. He had no personal knowledge to confirm that information, and he doesn't know why he didn't tell Ashley Merchant. He didn't recall when she asked him that question. I don't recall why. I didn't say I don't recall. Then on the same day, January 5th, 2024, within the same half hour, Terrence Bradley offers this information. They met at the Municipal Court CLE conference. That's what I figured, says Ashley Merchant, when he was married. Then Ashley Merchant literally includes a paragraph in the motion and says, is this accurate? Upon information and belief, Willis and Wade met while both were serving as magistrate judges and began a romantic relationship at that time, to which Terrence Bradley corrects her and says, no, municipal court. And then Terrence Bradley, always speculating and not offering any information that he had personal knowledge of, adds the following. But you can't put where they met. Not many people know that. And then he adds, I might be one of only not even Chris Campbell. To which Ashley Merchant says, I am not. I got stuff from the divorce lawyer. I got a ton of stuff. Terrence Bradley can't contain his curiosity, says, like what else? When will it drop? Monday is my filing deadline, says Ashley Merchant. You won't be involved at all. He finally turned over his financial docs, which show he paid for Fani's Delta flight. It has her name on it to California Napa vacation. And he paid for a Royal Caribbean cruise for them. Allegations in respect of which Fani Willis totally plausibly expects us all to believe that she repaid Nathan Wade in cash with no paper trail, no trace, no proof of any payment whatsoever, because she kept 6 months of cash in her place wherever she laid her head, because that's what her daddy taught her to do. Then on January 6th, Ashley Merchant, getting a little concerned, asks this. How will they react to this? Attack me? Give me the stupid no fear or favor speech? ? Terrence Bradley replies, that's another conversation. Sonia Allen. No, they will deny it. No way. They won't attack you, says Terrence Bradley. It seems that when dealing with corrupt scoundrels and when exposing the corruption of corrupt scoundrels tend to fight back, as Terrence Bradley knows undoubtedly, and as Ashley Merchant was fearful of from the beginning. But I like to think and I like to believe that if you get to be a big enough fish in the pond, they can't attack you all that easily, because you got a big bullhorn, you got a big community to support you, and if they do go after you, it will be patently obvious what they're doing, and the world will react accordingly. Hopefully. Later on, Terrence Bradley adds the following. Do you know when she was elected, he was on her executive team and was a part of all interviews for people she hired and fired? They will still deny it. I did hear that, but didn't include it because I don't have any proof. Was he just not paid for that? Asks Ashley. I am not sure if anyone from that office would verify. I am shocked she paid him so much. How did they think they wouldn't get caught? So careless. Why not just not pay Nathan? Lord. To which Terrence Bradley says, arrogance. He might be speculating there, and I think a lot of people would agree with that speculation. Arrogance, but add to that a sprinkle of stupidity. On January 7, 2024, Ashley Merchant says this. That's the thing. Even without evidence of sex, he paid for her plane tickets and her travel. To which Terrence Bradley replied, subpoena them all. I am nervous. This is huge, says Ashley Merchant. You are huge. You will be fine. You are one of the best lawyers I know. Go be great. I said it after Terrence Bradley testified. I actually feel bad for this guy because it's quite clear he's being intimidated and abused by two intimidating and abusive people, that being Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. I like Terrence Bradley. I think he got screwed in this. He got scared, threatened into silence, into looking like an absolute buffoon on the stand. He did it to protect himself because he thought in protecting Nathan Wade, he would protect himself, and then they still burnt him. In those text exchanges, he actually looks like a lawyer who's actually interested in justice and didn't think he would get caught in the crossfire for providing the information that Ashley Merchant needed, but my goodness, did he ever get caught in the crossfire. And then it ends with some gossip. I'm going to subpoena him. Jeff DeSantis, Dexter, Cuffey, and Green. Terrence Bradley replies, Cuffey was fired too. To which Ashley Merchant replies, damn, I can't believe she fired them. Maybe he will talk. Why was he fired? My main question has always been, how did Sonia feel about Fani taking her man? Ooh. Terrence Bradley replies, not sure how she felt or feels. Her and Nathan are extremely close now. It started romantic, but when I left, it was more brotherly, sisterly. But occasionally they would mess around. Cuffey was fired because he slept with a subordinate. He's gay. He had a party at his house and the subordinate came and they ended up sleeping together. Then Cuffey ended up having to reprimand him. Look, I really don't know what's going on here other than some office gossip, but I'll repeat what I've said many, many times. Keep your schmeckle in your pants and you will avoid a lot of trouble. Even when I was a lawyer at a big law firm, I would go to the Christmas parties. I would leave early because I was a married man and nothing good happens after midnight. Now it's nothing good happens after 10 o'clock. You keep your schmeckle in your pants. You don't dip the pen in company ink. And you'll avoid a lot of headaches in life. It seems that everybody involved in this disaster could not abide by that one basic simple rule of professional and moral conduct. So that is the latest. Those are the text exchanges to which Bradley pleaded privilege initially and now no longer has privilege. It's out there for the world to see. The world is going to see it. The judge has already seen it. The judge's mind is made up in my humble view. If the judge does not disqualify Fani Willis and Nathan Wade and potentially do more, I don't know if he can dismiss the indictment itself, but if he doesn't at the very least disqualify Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, the judge is corrupt. They're all safe, but I'm sticking with my prediction. The judge looks honest, he looks intellectual, and he looks a little bit frustrated with the egregious levels of corruption, incompetence, buffoonery in this case that I think he's going to come down hard on Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. We'll see. Tomorrow, closing arguments as at the time of shooting this vlog. Stay tuned. You know what to do if you like my stuff. Viva Frei on Rumble, Viva Frei on Twitter, vivabarneslaw.locals.com on locals, more important than anything. Get out there, talk to people in real life, exercise, eat healthy, and now you know your vlog. Now you know your vlog. Peace out, peeps. Booyah!
I don't recall if I ever said I don't remember.